Hello guys, I was looking at this picture by Lelo Hanolo Nwenya, and I really like these shapes right here. So we've got this kind of sharpness right here. You can see it's mostly going around the head right here, but we've got this nice little sharpness right here. Now this was done in ZBrush, and of course in ZBrush you have your pinch brushes, your H polish, but I think it's good to know how to do this with polygons as well. So kind of have these more subtle shapes here. So, let me go ahead and start with this sphere.
But real quick guys, if you're looking for what I consider to be the best 3D modeling tutorial on the internet, I recommend checking out my Udemy course. It's got tutorials on Blender, 3ds Max, CAD programs such as Plasticity and Moai 3D, and a lot of ZBrush as well. So if you want to master a variety of programs to really bring your skills up to the next level and master 3ds Max, Blender, ZBrush, and Plasticity, be sure to check out that course. Link is in the description. Let's continue.
Now go ahead and turbo smooth that. This will be our starting point. All right, and then I'll create a plane here. All right, so I'll just go into freeform and then draw on surface, pick this as the surface, and have a little bit of a offset. All right, so I'll use step build and I'll create the initial shape here. Use a combination of extend and step build. All right. So here's where I get my initial shape. All right, so now that I've got that, I can go ahead and apply shell modifier. All right, so, right now, let me also use the crease set for the data channel workflow. Auto edge crease weights, and then open subdiv. All right, so this is what the data channel right now gives us. All right, so right now it's an interesting shape from this angle, but it's very kind of flat here. So looking at that image by the Hanolo, we can make some changes here. So we're going to learn how to shape and create more interesting designs here. So the first thing is that we don't want to be too bound by our topology. We want to be able to kind of deviate from it. So we're not too worried right now about triangles. So you can select a vertex here and then kind of move it out. That's going to give us like the initial foundation. But now we need to kind of like work the rest of this mesh, kind of massage the mesh. So if we're using a ZBrush, we would be using maybe clay buildup, pinch, H polish, flatten, things like that. But since we're going to polygons, we're going to go ahead and go into loop tools. We're going to use things like straight right here, which you can set to a hotkey. You can see that already starts to give us a nice result here. And we can also, once you set up a pivot here or an axis, it's gonna, all I have to do now is just left click and move, and it's gonna remember what you did there. So as you can see, I'm just gonna go around here and setting up this transition here. You see, so now we've got this happening here. And in order to make this work, we kind of need to kind of gently massage this as well. And set it up like so. Same thing for this. All right. I'm also going to copy that, and I'm going to go ahead and have like a border detail as well. I'm going to go ahead and shell that. Make sure straighten corners is on here. All right. Alright, so now I'm seeing if I like this, if I want to remove that or not. So it all depends what kind of shape you want to create here. Alright, once you've got this, I'm going to replace the edit channel with crease set, so I get the result that I want. I'm going to go ahead and set these up for creasing as well. Right, like so. And that gives me the result that I want right here. So you can see how we're able to kind of create more interesting shapes using this method by just learning how to massage the kind of shape that we want. And then open subdiv on top. And I'm going to go ahead and clear this. And that way I can reset up the loops if I want to create more details here. All right. So now we can add other details here as well. Well, looks like there was a sharpness right here. Let's see. Alright, so you can see it's trying to maintain sharpness. It's okay. We're going to go ahead and apply smooth on top. I'm going to go ahead and use edge constraints, kind of move this to the right. Now I can go here and add further detail. Alright, so if you want this to be more rectangular, what I like to do is use something called GeoPoly, which kind of does that right there. Then I will select this and use the Versace script to set up a custom working pivot right there, which means now I can scale like so. So the Versace script is very useful because it allows us to orient our pivot very easily, which means we can scale and rotate along that. And base constraints keeps what we do here on the base of the geometry. So the Versace script, very easily select anything and set that up to be your custom pivot right there. Remember, you can select an edge, and when you use the hotkey, which I got set to Control-Shift-A, it's going to change the orientation to this side, in the center, or that side, or in the center right here. So, very useful for that as well. So as you can see, when you master this, you can get very nice shapes here very easily. I think maybe we'll actually continue working with this as well. So what I mean by that is, we've got this happening here. I'm gonna go ahead and select this. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see. We'll detach it as a clone. I'm gonna go ahead and extrude this out. I'm gonna go ahead and use freeform again. And so now I can kind of confine this to this object, reconform it to this object. I can then delete that because that was just a starting point. As you can see, you get very nice shapes this way. And then what I can do is apply shell to this. Kind of like right there. I can attach these together now. And in order to attach together, I can just select this and delete that. And then I can target weld. Same for this as well. Alright, and now we have this attached object. You can see we can build up shapes like this very easily.